Are you ready for a jewelry haul? Is this where I say, are you ready for a jewelry haul, y'all? I might live in Tennessee, but no, I don't have the accent. This is part 2 of a church rummage sale haul, and we need to go through it. I need to find out what's in here. Before this video is over, I promise you, I'll make at least one thing, upcycle something in here to make a bracelet or a necklace or earrings or who knows what we'll get into. Hi everyone, I'm Vicki with Avante Jewelry. Welcome to our channel, and a big welcome to all of our new subscribers to Avante Jewelry. And if you're coming back, thank you for that too, and check out my other videos. Today is a jewelry haul. Maybe I should call it a shoebox haul. And yeah, we're gonna go through here, see what we've got. I already made stuff from box number 1. I paid $18 for 2 boxes at that church rummage sale. And there's lots of fun in here, I'm sure. So keep watching and we'll get started. I have a lot to go through here. At least it looks like a lot right now. I'm going to set the box aside and just pull each bag over and under the camera to show you, because I can't get the camera high enough to show you this way. What do we have here? We have some glass pearls. There's no knotting in between. These black beads feel like plastic. I have some of these little brass spacer beads already, so those are kind of nice in there. We've got some little filigree beads, and the clasp says 1928. 1928. I used to wear a lot of that jewelry. Okay, so pearl necklace. Another pearl necklace. This one almost looks like a lariat, but actually it just has a little tassel. Again, from the feel and the weight, these feel like glass pearls. It's pretty. Just slip it over your neck. I could sell it or take it apart. Not sure yet. This one is quite strange. I mean, it was in style for a while, a brief while. This is a beaded necklace, but they're fabric covered. I remember these, and I was never fond of them. We do have some, well, they're not wood, they're plastic beads in between. I am curious as to what type of bead is under the fabric. We might find that out eventually. So what do we have here? We have a ring clasp, threaded on string. Beads are plastic, very dirty, a lot of scuffing. Definitely a craft piece, but you know, I might go into a craft lot. Another black necklace, plastic, but I do like the filigree beads. Those are pretty. And every single one has one of these, plus daisy spacers, so this could really be good for the components. Looking to see if there's a clasp. I don't see a clasp, but I do have a lot to work with when it comes to the brass findings, so it's worth it for that. Well, they're all worth it for the price that I paid. This is a really pretty bracelet, and these are all stone. They're all cool to the touch. It's a memory wire bracelet. There's a lot to work with here. I mean, this is a faux ivory. It's not the real thing, but the rest of it are stones. Yes, I could leave it as a memory wire bracelet, or I might be able to work these into a necklace. So I do like this a lot. Wow, I can tell from the sound that this is ceramic. Pendant appears to be hand painted. The black beads are plastic. I do like the spacers. They look like gold metal spacers in between. And then we have these little discs that I could work with. Now this is funny. These are plastic. So if this is ceramic and these are plastic, hear the difference? Higher pitched. Yeah, these are plastic. So it does seem kind of ironic that they're all painted pretty much the same. Now I'm rethinking this. This looks like a transfer, an applied transfer. So this is not hand painted. It's some kind of pre-printed transfer, I believe. I don't think anymore that it's painted. I mean, I can see here. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's a paper transfer with metallic ink. I'll probably end up taking this apart, since all of these beads are plastic, and just use these components and work them in somewhere else. Well, this is definitely a vintage looking necklace. Let's see if it's marked. It does have something here. Oh, it's listener. See if I can show it to you. I don't know. I'll bring it up to the camera, but I wish I could also touch the camera lens and focus on this better. But it does say LISNER, listener. So this is a piece that I can sell. I won't take this apart. It just has a hook clasp, chain, and this interesting pendant. It looks in pretty good shape, not too bad. And then we have these 3 chain tassels. So this one will get listed for sale. Cool to the touch. This is faux turquoise. Very unusual shape. It's like a fish scale shape, but it's faux turquoise. There's so many different types of faux turquoise, but I know it's not the real thing. But very unusual. I mean, look at that bead. Because it has such an unusual shape, I think it would be hard to make it into anything else but a bracelet. I'm not sure about that one. I might list it as it is. Very unique. What have we here? Is it marked? It is. I don't know if you can see that, but it's marked Germany. It's just plastic, and it's quite small. So I'd say that this is a choker necklace. Very small. It has kind of a, gosh, what era do you think this is? I'm thinking 60s, perhaps. All plastic beads. Every single one is plastic. But I think I'm going to have to try to sell this since it's made in Germany. I think that's the best choice. Try it for sale first before I would take it apart. What do you think? Would you wear this? There should be a clasp here, but there's only a jump ring with an extension chain. I think the clasp is long gone. Oh, I see here. I see. My mistake. It has a lobster clasp. This is a double strand. And it is very short. I think it's probably only about a 16-inch necklace. Most of them are cool to the touch. So I think we have some glass beads here. We have a microscope, and a lot of times we check things under that. It is a very sweet necklace. It's pretty color, but no branding. I'm not sure what kind of demand there would be for this type of necklace. So I might very well take this apart and make it into something else. So what do you think of that haul so far? I mean, basically, you could say I paid $9 for all that jewelry. That's not very much, and I do this all the time. I'm always finding deals. And if you like these kind of videos, I hope you consider subscribing, leave a comment, and even maybe give me a little thumbs up. This is different. Black Heart is the brand, originally $7.90, and it says Unicorn Tears. I have never seen anything say Unicorn Tears. And there's glitter in here. I'll have to research it and see if it has any value. We have some braided cord, not leather, just a soft cotton cording. And we have this pendant with, what do we have here? Little doodads. Let's lay this down and try to take a look at it. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I don't know if that's supposed to be a perfume bottle and that's some kind of 3-prong comb. I don't know. We've got a wooden bead, some little rings. This does open here, and I could take all of these off of here, so they're interchangeable. I really don't see a lot to work with on this one. It's probably going to go into a craft lot. These are just wooden beads. We've got a bracelet with a ring clasp and a necklace with a lobster clasp. It's on stretchy cord, wood beads. I'll put it in a craft lot. What have we here? Any branding? It does have a cute little heart clasp. A couple little hearts here. It's a unique looking chain. It's 3-strand. The pendant slides on here. It does have a lot of wear on the finish. A lot of wear. I hope you can see that in the camera. Let's zoom in a little bit. Can you see the discoloring here? It has a lot of wear. So these pieces are not really usable. I mean, the chain isn't bad, and I could take this off of here and sell the hearts in a craft lot and put something else on the chain. I'm not sure what length this is. It does have the extension chain. It's not very long, though. Before the extension chain, but with the clasp, it's just about 16 inches plus the extension, so 16 to 17. This lobster clasp has to go. It just has far too much wear. But the chain itself does have some potential. We'll see. Ignore the prices on these. As I said in the opening, this is the second half of the lot that I bought. So the prices on the bags doesn't matter. These are absolutely crazy, aren't they? Oh my gosh, look at these humongous pearls. Some of them in a netting tied with some ribbon. Crazy. Should I keep this one? Should I keep it and wear it? What do you think of this one from the haul? These are huge. I don't know if I want to take this one apart or not. I think it's pretty cool. What do you think? Take it apart. That remains to be seen. Huge though. I mean, look how big these are. Two very wide plastic bangles. Not in very good condition. They're scratched, and I can see the seam here. Originally, they had 25 cents on them. I'm going to put these in a craft lot. Who knows what someone will come up with, to use these. You never know. This is interesting. Nice bright yellow cubes. And then we have some round beads. They're all plastic. Has that vintage look. Has a ring clasp. And everything's plastic. These are fun though. The cube beads are fun. Need some cleaning for sure. This has potential for crafting with this bright yellow. Something that I could possibly work in for a spring or summer piece of jewelry. Oh, I didn't know these were loose in here, obviously. Obviously, I did not know that. Let me gather up some of these little beads. I've got seed beads. Plastic, plastic, plastic. It all feels like plastic. And then it has little gold. It has little gold 6/0s in between. Very unusual combination of colors. I mean, look at this. Originally, it's a 3-strand, but one of the strands is broken. But let's see if we can lay this out. So can I work with this? Some of these have a cool touch to them, so I might have a combination of some of the black beads being glass and some plastic. So there might be some potential here. They do have some unique shapes to them. But as far as the other pearls and the little 6/0s, little spacer beads, no. I'm not going to work with these. In fact, the coating is completely off here. I'm probably going to throw away most of this necklace and only keep the black beads. Let's just do that right now. I'll save myself some time if I just call it and take the black beads. I mean, I guess the clasp. No, the clasp has a lot of wear, a lot of corrosion. So I'm just going to keep the black beads for now and throw the rest of it away. Almost looks like gold, but I don't think it is. Unusual clasp. Look at this. It's a disc bead with fine chain through it with a dangle on each end, and it was fed through here and then the little ball put on the end. This is very unique. Very unique. Long chain if you take it all the way down to how small it can be. I don't see any markings on it. It does have a little charm here. It says faith. We do have some crystals. Let's just check it. Oh, that was a chain that reacted. I really doubt that this is gold. If it was gold, you'd think they would put a gold charm on it. So I think they're just maybe gold-plated beads. It's cute, but I don't think it has a lot of value for resale. So I might be able to work these components in with something else. But I do think that this is very unique. Never seen anything like it. Not with chain anyway. Have you? Leave a comment and let everyone know if you've seen this type of clasp before. What do we have? Quite unusual. Any markings? It does have, oh, Chico's. It's unique for sure. Trying to figure out how to lay this out because it seems quite tangled. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 metal dangles. I mean, they're really unique. This is definitely a statement necklace. We have 2 types of chain. We have a small chain, small link here, larger link. And then the 2 chains are connected, not around the neck so much, but at the front. We have jump rings here, here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jump rings connecting the 2 chains together. So that's unique. It's hooked onto the extension chain. If we actually come up just to the main jump ring, it would be right here. That's a very large lobster clasp. I mean, this does need cleaned, by the way. Small necklace as far as going around the neck. It's probably about 18 inches plus the extension chain. It might have some potential for resale. I'll have to research it first and see. I'm not sure what all is in here. A variety of things. A very tiny choker, a little heart with a rhinestone in the center. Got a carousel horse. Jesus is the heart of the season. Some large coin earrings and a bracelet. Toss this back in here, and this is going to be craft jewelry. Oh, I was going to say, I think this is broken. What's it say here? KR. Anybody know KR? Who is KR? The reason I say it looks like it's broken is because when I pulled it out of the bag, look at the shape of it. Can you see the curve here? Kind of curves in right here. I know, it's probably a piece of pottery, like a plate with transfer wear. It's soldered all the way around. I won't say that it's a great job. It might be someone's first time doing this. I've never done it, so I can't critique it too hard. It's kind of rough looking. The chain looks nice. It's a 3-strand fine chain. Again, I don't know who KR is. It's probably about an 18-inch necklace plus the extension. I like the chain, sort of. I mean, I do see here it has some wear here. I think I'm going to put it in a craft lot. Okay, let's see what we have here. This very unusual necklace. Looks like Chico's, doesn't it? Avon. Surprise, surprise. A very modernistic looking Avon necklace. This is plastic. This feels like plastic. Chain is nice. I could take the tag off and use the chain for something else. It's a maybe. It might just go into a lot with other Avon jewelry. As I said, I've got quite a bit of it. This is just a seed bead necklace with a barrel clasp. What do you think? Craft lot to me. This little heart, resin, craft lot. Or maybe I can use it somehow on my Valentine tree. This is a little tie tack. You know, sometimes these have some value. What does it say here? Swank. S-W-A-N-K, swank. I was just talking to Mark yesterday about a couple of things I found in another jewelry stash that I have, and it said swank. And Mark said that swank was a very popular, might still be a very popular tie tack company. This is just some kind of white cord with a little, shark's tooth. There you go. Got a little shark's tooth on here. Probably go in a craft lot. Oh, this is one of those, you know what? That's what this is for. I could probably put this in here and sell this. They wrote on it 50 cents and a dollar, so I don't know if anybody still buys these, but I could put this together. Frozen. What do we have? Earring set. 3 pairs of pierced earrings. Probably something from the Dollar Tree. And it was $1 here. It says Walmart. Cute little tin. I'm not sure if it has any value or not. Probably not much. And what do we have in here? Drum roll, please. What do you think? What is it? Oh, I have a bag still to go, so this is not the last item. Oh, yes. I remember these now. All of these cufflinks. Oh, that's a moonglow bead. That's pretty. Let's see if we can find any branding on here. I don't see any, but I do like that moonglow bead. We do have a set of them. That's always good. This is just flat metal. That doesn't have any stones in it. I do think I see a little scratch on this moonglow bead, but those might have some potential. And then we have these. These cufflinks have a red background. I don't think it's glass. And they do say swank. I'll have to look up swank because it keeps coming up and see if it has any value. If there's any collectors out there for swank. Some type of black glass in the center. They're not perfectly centered. That's why I'm pausing here. They need a thorough cleaning. I'm not seeing any branding on these. No branding. The box says Don Mark. but I don't know that that has anything to do with this. Maybe these are Don Mark. I'll have to look that up. Very possible that these are. I've never sold cufflinks before, so this would be my first time listing these. I'll get this cleaned up. We have, wow, some earrings. Crazy looking earrings. In fact, they're really not that crazy. I actually made some earrings with bars like this. I took a necklace apart and made several pairs of earrings. These are very unique looking. It says Diva Signature. Not sure that means a whole lot, but wow. Very unusual that we're finding all of the same brand. Somebody must have had a store maybe and sold this brand. Check these out. I mean, there's all different sizes. Look at these hoops. I can't imagine wearing these. I wouldn't wear these. I wouldn't, and I couldn't wear these. And then I have this. This looks like someone was playing around with making chainmail, because I've made earrings like this before. That same pattern, only smaller rings. Yeah, that's just like something I've made in the past. I don't know if we're missing one. This one doesn't have as many jump rings and it's a different gauge. But boy, do I have the hoops. What I'm seeing here is a lot of potential to take some of these hoops and work them into other types of earrings. This is soldered though. I'd have to cut it apart. I bet you all of these are soldered. I'm rethinking this because they are soldered closed jump rings. I might very well just sell all of these as a lot and let someone actually enjoy wearing them. What would you do with all of these? Would you work with them, take them apart and work with them? Or if you resell, would you just resell them as they are? I'm curious as to your thoughts on this. Ooh, really expensive. Dollarama. Dollar earrings. I'm not going to get a lot for these. I'll have to think on these. I almost missed these. I didn't see them in the box. Metal, stamped metal, no branding. The rhinestones are just glued. They're pretty. I don't think they have a lot of value. I don't really expect a lot of value though when I buy these lots. On occasion I find sterling silver, rarely ever gold, but I do find components that I can have fun with or resell. Not too bad. I think we can do something. I think we can upcycle something from here. You think? Keep watching. There's more. These are the pieces that I'm going to try to work with. I may not use all of them because I'm not really sure how many pieces of jewelry that I'm making today. I like the colors, I like the various shapes and texture, and I feel that I can come up with something, or perhaps more than one something. We'll see. And I may very well work in other components that I need to make the jewelry. I've got this little bowl of black beads that I had separated out and threw away the rest. I have the stone and glass beaded memory wire bracelet, ceramic and plastic beaded necklace, and these earrings, brass. This necklace, not sure how I'm going to work this in, if at all. This bracelet, that is not gold, it's just plastic beads and some crystals. This double strand glass beaded necklace. The glass pearls with the plastic black beads and some filigree beads, and these crazy looking earrings. The one thing I do know is I want to work with this bracelet. So as pretty as it might be, I'm going to take this apart and take a closer look at the stones that we have in here, because I just have to do it. I have to take it apart. One bead off. Let's use the memory wire cutters. Yeah, there's little spacer beads. I didn't expect this. We have little spacer beads. The problem is every single one is corroded. They have verdigris. Completely unusable on those. Just going to cut it again because I'm not recycling this memory wire. In the trash it goes. Goodness sakes, what do we have here? A lot of stones, some glass beads, I mentioned those earlier, and some plastic beads, and a lot of corroded spacer beads. I think this bracelet has definitely gotten wet many times, and some dust from the stones. That's what we've got here. This necklace is a 1928 piece of jewelry, and I do like 1928, but I'm still going to take it apart. These are glass beads, except for the black beads. It's a barrel clasp, so I won't be reusing this. Plastic, glass, brass, filigree. I like those a lot. For this necklace, these are just a plastic flat back bead glued on here. There was no branding on this. For this, I'm just after the chain. I doubt I use the other components. And this I'll just set aside. I do have some usable jump rings on it, but for the most part I won't be using that. At least I don't think I will. This here we have some crystals and some gold tone plastic beads. Not sure. I like the crystals on here. That's the part I do like. So maybe for that I'll take it apart. The only thing I don't like about this type of clasp is if you have a small wrist and all this chain is hanging down, I can see this getting caught in places. I'm not too keen on that. And this here, we'll hold on to this for now. Let's start with the stones, the pearls, maybe these black beads, and make a bracelet. How about that? Let's make a bracelet. I'm going to use a toggle clasp, and this is going to be two-tone because I don't have any gold tone toggle clasp right now. I have some coming in, and I have these little tiny spacer bars, very tiny. I don't know, maybe I can hold it like this. There's 3 holes in it, and that helps for alignment. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm thinking about trying it in this bracelet, so I pulled out 5 of these. We do need some wire. I have some 49 strand wire, beading wire. I want the bracelet to be about, I don't know, somewhere between 7.5. So I'm going to cut, I'll just give myself a little extra. I'm going to cut 11 inches of wire. The first strand is going to include the stones. So I'm putting a little clip. This is just a gator clip, alligator clip that I use. You might have some other type of clip that you like to use, and that's fine. I have some small 3mm round beads. I'm just going to start with that because this will be the last bead before I attach the toggle clasp. And just going to look through this bowl here and just going to pick out some beads. I'm going to use a variety of the glass and the stone, I believe, and be somewhat random with it. I do like the color combination. I thought that was really nice. I'll play some music while I bead this, and then I'll periodically show you up close what it looks like. I also want to work in some of the glass pearls. So every once in a while, I'm going to put a glass pearl in here. In fact, I'm thinking, I'm going to back off here. I'm thinking I'll put a glass pearl in for every 4th bead. So 3 stones or glass beads and then 1 pearl. Mixing in some glass. I am mixing in some of these, I guess, resin beads, just because I like the texture, maybe, and the glass beads, of course. Let's check the length of this. Okay, I'm already over 7 inches and I still have the toggle clasp to add. So it's getting pretty big now. I need to reduce, I'm going to eliminate that purl. That brings it down to 7. I'm going to add another clip here. Let's check this on a bracelet cone and see where we are. I'm also going to check it this way. I'm debating though whether I should take off a few more beads. If I put it on a bracelet making tray, I'm about 7.25. On this end, I'm going to go ahead and add a small bead. I just realized I completely forgot about these. These little bars are meant to keep a triple strand, 3-strand bracelet connected better. My concern was, I'll show you what my concern is, that if I use this, do I have enough room between the diameter of this strand and the next strand? And I don't. So I'm not going to use these after all. Either these would need to be larger or my diameter of my strands smaller. So therefore I'm not going to use it after all. Maybe another time. Crimp. I'm going to use a tiny crimp bead instead of a tube. And with a crimp bead, all I have to do is flatten it. So I'm going to put this strand, which I believe is going to be my widest strand in diameter, I'm going to put this through. I'm going to put this is going to be my, this strand of beads is going to be my center strand. So I'm putting it through the center hole of this connector. So I just brought the wire around through the hole, slip the crimp bead on, making sure my wires are not crossed. I'm going to use the small round bead to hold it in place, meaning the wire is not crossed. And I've got my needle nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to get a hold of that, leaving a little room for flexibility. I'm not tightening up too much, and then I just press. Press it a few times. Check it, make sure it's not going to come out. It's not. And then I like to feed through my small round bead and a few other beads, however many I can get to go over this. Push the beads down, push the small bead down. We can check it again before adding the rest of the toggle clasp. Looking good to me. It's going to be between 7 and 7.5 if all goes well. Let's add another tiny crimp bead, not tube. I have another component just like the first one that I'm going to go through the center, come back through the crimp bead and a few other beads. This is where it can get challenging because I don't have as much flexibility when I'm finishing it as I do when I'm doing the first one. I do want to go through at least another bead, maybe another one. I'd like to go through 3. I think I'll settle for 2 though. This is through the crimp bead, the small round bead, and 2 other beads. And I'm just going to hold on to that as I pull on the wire and tighten this up. Giving it a tug, pushing the beads down, of course, because I don't want a huge gap here. I've got too much of a gap right now. But I'm pushing this down, making sure everything's still fine on this end. And you can see here that I still have a fairly big gap here. So I'm going to tug on this a little more and then push down the crimp bead with my thumbnail. I think I'm all right. Or press the bead. I still want that tighter. Okay, it's not going anywhere. I can cut that off. You could use scissors or clippers or whatever tool you want. I'm using clippers. I'm going to go ahead and attach the 2 pieces of the toggle clasp with some jump rings. I am going to use new jump rings for this, 1 on each end. Just hold one half stationary and you can pull towards yourself or push away, whatever you prefer. Close that up. I want this closed a little tighter, so I'm going to kind of wiggle it back and forth until it closes up a little better. So let's find out, what size do we really have? It turned out to be 7 3/4 by the time I added these two components plus the toggle clasp. If I needed to shorten it up for myself, I could remove the toggle clasp and go to a lobster clasp and shorten this up. I'm going to stay with the toggle clasp because I am going to sell this one. It's at 7 3/4. But we need to make 2 more strands, one on each side of this. Let's take a look in this bowl from the pearl necklace and see what we can work with. We have these filigree beads. I see we have some little metal spacer beads. Just pull some things out of here. There's quite a few in here. A lot more than I realized. So how can we incorporate these into one of our strands? And how can we incorporate some of this chain? Now with this chain, I can see here that part of it is nothing more than the extension chain. So I'm not even going to be using this whole section here. Let's just go ahead and take that off. Do I have enough? If I connected here, yes, I do have enough chain that I could connect this. Can you hear my mind going here? Trying to figure out what my next step is. Let's go ahead and connect the chain. I don't work with very fine chain very often. So how have I done here? Kind of like a bead bar is what I would refer to this as. I don't normally do things off camera, but I just had to really focus on this, and I'm not sure yet if I have it. I think I've got it about as good as I'm going to get it. It would have been so much easier if I had just made a 1-strand bracelet. I know, but keep watching here. We'll do it. I think we're going to need to take this apart. Perfect string. Whoa, there goes a bead. Let's get some stringing wire for this one. I have a piece here that I think I can use. I think I can make it work. Should just make it. Put a clip on the end. One of my silver beads on one end. Going to go ahead and use these little gold beads. 3 of those. One of these brass spacer beads. Let's work in a few of the round glass beads in here. Brass spacer bead. I don't want this to be very big. I don't want to overpower the rest of the bracelet. I still want that center strand to stand out. So I'm going to put 3 of these again. See what I have to work with here so I don't short myself. Let's add another little spacer bead. I'm not planning on putting any pearls in this strand. I could, maybe I should. Can you tell how intently I'm working on this? I'm so focused. Oh gosh, sometimes I think it's just going to be easy peasy, and sometimes it's not. I don't feel that I have a lot to work with here, if I'm honest, but that's part of the challenge, to see if I can make something out of almost nothing. And I'm not giving up till I get something made here. I had thoughts of making several pieces of jewelry, but I have a feeling this is going to be it for this video. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'm ready for another stone. I'm liking this strand, I have to tell you, better than that bead bar that I made. Sometimes the best laid plans. Well, wait a minute. I didn't have a plan, did I? No, honestly, I did not. I looked at the beads. I thought, sure, I can come up with something on this. But I truly had no idea other than perhaps making a 3-strand bracelet. And here I am struggling with it. So hopefully it will be pretty in the end. Yeah, a crystal and then a pearl. You gotta pay attention here. How many of you like quiet time when you're making jewelry so that you can focus? It is challenging to make jewelry, know that I'm making a video, trying to talk while staying focused. It can be challenging to keep it all together, keep it going. All right, I'm almost there, I believe. Each of these couldn't be a bracelet on their own. I could have done this one by itself, but I'm putting them all together. I think I'm there. In fact, I think I need to back off a couple of beads here and go to my silver bead as my finishing bead on this one, this end. And same thing here. Take some beads off of here. This is probably where my tying station would have come in handy. And I do have it over here. I can see it off to the side from my last video, but my tying station could come in very handy to hold all of this straight. I still have to wrap that around and crimp it. I'm going with it. I'm going to put a tiny crimp bead on here. Crimp bead, not tube. I'm going to come around here, put it through the loop of the 3-strand connector, come back through the crimp bead and another couple beads. I like to use my needle nose pliers, also known as chain nose pliers, and you'll find a link for those below the video, making sure my wire is not crossed over itself and that I have a little bit of flexibility. I'm going ahead. It's not a crimp because it's a bead and I'm just smashing it here, flattening it, check it. Let's get the beads through there. All the beads that I can. Push these down. You know, I pulled out 6 of these crimp beads, but I only needed 4 because I used jump rings for the chain. And you want to make sure your crimp bead can't go through your next bead. That's why I use a small 3mm bead there. I do not want my crimp bead getting lost inside, if you can imagine, inside another bead. You don't want that to happen. I'm going to go through the brass component and this glass bead. Might as well. All right, so I'm going to turn this around because I'm right-handed. I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to get a hold of this. See how I'm pulling it here? I'm pulling it and tightening it up, snugging it up. Going to check it, making sure my beads are pushed down, but not so tight that they, bunch up on each other. But I am, tightening it up a little bit, allowing a little bit of leeway here, a little bit of flex here, so that it has some room to move. Looking at my pattern one more time. I think I'm good. I don't see anything jumping out at me, and I'm going to crimp it. Give it a couple squeezes, flatten it out, check it. That looks pretty good. And it looks pretty good, it feels good. I'm going to go ahead and cut this as close as I can so that you don't see the wire. So what do you think? Was that a challenge or not? It was a challenge for me because I should have just grabbed some chain that was larger. I think this is, very fine. I truly have made 3 bracelets into one. Our 3-strand bracelet using the memory wire bracelet, the necklace with the pearls, and I still have some of these brass components left here that I could work in somewhere else. And then we took apart the little bracelet. I know these are earrings already, but I feel like they could be embellished a little bit. So here's a really quick way to do that. I like this really small bead here and this next one. I mean, any of them would work as far as color, but I don't want to get too long. So I'm going to take this apart right here. I'm just going to close it up for now. And then I'm going to undo this link here because I only want 2 of these. And then I need to find that same pattern again. Here it is. Whoop, no, that's different. Okay, I need to find the same pattern again. Can I find it or do I have to make it? Okay, here. This matches. Do you see how that matches? So let's undo this. Open up the loop on the ear wire, both of these. I'm going to change out the ear wires. I'm going to go with silver, even though it's brass. I'm going to mix my tones. Well, I do have some gold ear wires. Even though these are silver, I'll go with the gold. Open this up sideways. And let's open up the loop on the bottom here and attach it to the little brass medallion. It's almost calling for a jump ring. I'm going to use a jump ring. I'm going to close this back up. And I have 2 jump rings left over from the bracelet project, so I'm going to use this. Again, mixing my metals. And we just embellished these earrings, made them longer, of course. When you find vintage necklaces that are already connected, there's a whole lot you can do with these. In fact, you know, this was a necklace, but it could become bracelets or more earrings. There's a lot you could do with this. Well, let's just do that. What can we do with this? Take off the extension chain. I also need to remove this loop because it has the lobster clasp from the 2-strand necklace. So taking that apart, this is what we have left. I have another toggle clasp. I need more jump rings. I might need 6 of them. I'm not sure yet. I need to work with a couple of jump rings here on this toggle clasp. I'll explain in a second here. Just want to get it closed up really good. When I say I need to work with a couple, I needed to get this jump ring turned this direction, because what I want to do is attach some chain. Just going to randomly start attaching this to this jump ring. It's a matter of the direction that I want the bracelet strands to lay. So I had to put an extra jump ring there. So how long do I want this? We still have to attach the toggle clasp. I'm going to stop at 7. I'm going to open this up, slip on another jump ring, and close it up. We're making some really fast jewelry now. Now I need to open up, using my flat nose for this, open up this jump ring, and we need to set up the other half of the toggle clasp in the same way, meaning I have a small jump ring that I need to attach the larger jump ring to this toggle clasp, because I want the strands of the bracelet to lay as flat as possible. So let's go ahead, this jump ring is still open, and attach it to this large jump ring. You'll see. I'll show you here. This is what I'm going for. I wanted the bracelet part to lay flat. So let's do this again. Let's take a jump ring. If you don't have needle nose pliers, I highly recommend you get some. They are so convenient. You'll find a link below the video for these. So now we have a 2-strand bracelet. Take another jump ring. Make sure this isn't tangled or twisted. I'll just set it down for a second here. These are pretty good. You can see how nice and straight these are. So I want to take this one and go to that outside of the larger jump ring and close it up. making sure it's closed. We just made a really super fast 3-strand bracelet. They will jumble up on each other. It happens. Such a fast and easy bracelet to make. This one turned out to be about 7.5 with the toggle clasp. You can always add extra jump rings here. You can always add in some more of your linked beads. You know, as I said, these are glass beads. Just a really quick, easy bracelet to make. Let's put it on the bracelet pillow. I'll put this set together, the bracelet and the earrings, and put that in our eBay store, Avante Avenue, which you'll find a link for under the video where it says the word more. That's where you open up the drop-down box. I don't like this. I don't like how stiff it is, the bead bar. I don't like this small chain with the other 2 lengths of bracelet, so this has to go. It's got to go. Bye-bye. I have this chain from another project. Not sure if I can line it up correctly to make it work, but I'm going to take a look at it. I know it's a shortcut, and I'm not going to include any beads, but I'm thinking about using this. Kind of like it. A little awkward to get this link out because it's rectangular. This is very, very stiff. I'm going to go ahead and put my jump ring on here. Close that up. Let's try attaching the jump ring, see if I can make this work. It either works or it doesn't. Is this going to work? Is this going to be my quick and simple fix? I think it might be. That's good because this video is long enough. I didn't want to make it any longer. Much better scale, much better design. I know this was pretty, but it just didn't function in a bracelet. A necklace, fine, but not a bracelet. So there you go. And what size do we have, by the way? 7 3/4. I hope you don't mind my shortcut way of improving on the bead bar. This is what we made today, but let's go ahead and make a very quick pair of earrings to go with this bracelet.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell you, mama.
If you'd like to vote, this is number 1, and this is number 2. We did it. It took a little while, but we did it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Vicki with Avante Jewelry, and I'll see you soon. What do you think? Is it me?